Africa is calling. It's a voice that echoes from the heart of the continent, reverberating across valleys, mountains, and cities. Africa needs you. It needs your hands, your talents, your heart, and most of all, it needs your vision. We stand at a moment in history, a critical juncture, where we have the power to change the course of our future. But it's a change that can only come if we all rise together, and if we return to the soil that raised us. We've watched as Africa has been written out of the global conversation for too long. We've seen our resources exploited, our people scattered, and our potential untapped. But it's time for a new chapter, a chapter that we will write, a chapter where we, as sons and daughters of this great land, return not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Africa is calling us to come back, not just to visit, but to build, to rebuild, to uplift. Think about it. Every corner of this continent holds stories of innovation, resilience, and greatness. From the ancient empires that ruled the world to the young dreamers today who refuse to let the world define their potential. Africa is not just a place on the map. It is a source of immense power, a treasure trove of untapped creativity, energy, and intellect. It's time for us to come back home and help lead the way forward. We need the diaspora. We need the ideas, the skills, the experience, and the passion that you carry with you from all over the world. Whether you are a doctor, an engineer, an artist, a business leader, or a community organizer, your contribution is essential. You are the bridge. You are the key to unlocking Africa's potential. Together we can build institutions that stand strong, economies that thrive, and societies that are just, inclusive, and empowered. But more than that, Africa needs you to return with the understanding that we are all interconnected. The world is no longer divided into separate silos. What happens in Africa impacts the globe. From climate change to technology, from culture to economics, Africa's future is the world's future, and we must work together, collaborate, and innovate to create a sustainable and prosperous future for generations to come. This is not just about coming home to a place. It's about coming home to a responsibility. Africa has given us so much. Now it's our turn to give back. It's our turn to restore what has been lost, to heal what has been broken, and to lead our people toward a future that is not shaped by our past struggles, but by our shared aspirations. So hear the call. Come back home. Bring your wisdom, your experience, your passion, and your vision. Africa is waiting for you, and together we will shape a new destiny, not just for Africa, but for the entire world. The time is now. The journey starts today. Africa is a continent of immense untapped potential, one that has long been overlooked, misunderstood, and underutilized. From its rich natural resources to its diverse cultures, it is a land of extraordinary promise. Yet, for too long, the world has focused on Africa's challenges rather than its opportunities. The truth is that Africa holds the key to its own transformation, and that transformation begins with us. The untapped resources, talent, and creativity that lie dormant within its borders can propel the continent to new heights. But this can only happen if we take collective action and return to our roots, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Africa is home to some of the world's most valuable resources, from gold and diamonds to oil, gas, and rare earth minerals. Despite this, the continent has often been caught in a cycle of resource exploitation by foreign powers, leaving its people with little to show for its wealth. This paradox is not a reflection of Africa's inability to thrive, but rather a symptom of a system that has historically failed to empower its people. The reality is that Africa has the capacity to transform itself if it can harness its resources in ways that benefit its own people first and foremost. This requires a shift in mindset, a move away from dependence on external powers to one of self-sufficiency and innovation. But resources alone are not enough. Africa's true wealth lies in its people. The continent is home to over 1.4 billion individuals, each with unique talents, skills, and ideas that can change the world. From young entrepreneurs launching tech startups to seasoned professionals in every field imaginable, the potential of Africa's human capital is limitless. Yet, for many, the path to success has been obstructed by poor infrastructure, limited access to quality education, and economic instability. When we talk about Africa's untapped potential, we are speaking not only of its natural resources, but also of the countless minds that remain untapped, waiting for an opportunity to shine. Africa's creative industries, too, are a goldmine of untapped potential. From music to fashion, art to literature, African culture has a rich legacy of creativity that continues to influence the world. The global popularity of Afrobeats, Nollywood films, and African fashion are just the beginning. Africa's creative voices are resonating worldwide, but the infrastructure to support and nurture this creativity is still in its infancy. What the continent needs is investment. Investment in education, infrastructure, and platforms that allow creatives to thrive. This requires a commitment to fostering a culture of innovation, one that celebrates risk-taking and entrepreneurship, and supports the next generation of African creators. But the transformation of Africa requires more than just individual efforts. It calls for collective action. The diaspora in particular holds a key role in this process. Millions of Africans have spread across the globe, gaining invaluable skills, knowledge, and experience. These individuals have become leaders, innovators, and change makers in their respective fields. Yet the distance between the diaspora and the continent often remains wide. If we are to harness Africa's untapped potential, we must bridge that gap, bringing the expertise and resources of the diaspora back to the continent. Whether through direct investment, mentorship, or collaboration, those who have succeeded abroad have a responsibility to return home, share their knowledge, and contribute to the continent's development. Africa's future lies in its ability to come together, to unite its people, its resources, and its creativity for the common good. The potential is there, waiting to be unlocked, but this will only happen if we act collectively, focusing on sustainable development, innovation, and self-determination. As we return home, as we embrace our heritage and our responsibility, we hold the power to shape a new narrative for Africa, one that is built on the untapped potential that lies within us all. The time for change is now. It is up to us to make it happen. The African diaspora represents a vast and invaluable pool of talent, knowledge, and experience that can play a pivotal role in the continent's transformation. For generations, Africans have left their home countries in search of better opportunities abroad, often excelling in their respective fields and becoming leaders in their communities. From engineers and doctors to artists and entrepreneurs, the African diaspora has contributed significantly to the societies they now call home, but their role in Africa's future has the potential to be even greater. The African continent is at a crossroads, with challenges ranging from poverty and political instability to inadequate infrastructure and healthcare systems. Yet it is also filled with extraordinary potential and opportunity. To unlock that potential, Africa needs more than just external aid. It needs the expertise and leadership of those who have built careers and gained knowledge across the world. These individuals, many of whom still carry a deep connection to their African roots, are uniquely positioned to contribute to the continent's development. The skills and knowledge possessed by the diaspora are essential for Africa's future. In every field imaginable, there are Africans who have gained advanced degrees, developed innovative technologies, and run successful businesses abroad. These individuals have acquired technical expertise, strategic insights, and global perspectives that are invaluable in addressing the continent's challenges. Take, for example, the healthcare system. Africa has faced numerous health crises, from the Ebola outbreak to the ongoing challenges of HIV/AIDS and malaria. The diaspora has an army of medical professionals, researchers, and public health experts who can bring both knowledge and experience to the table, creating solutions tailored to the continent's unique needs. Similarly, the fields of engineering, technology, and infrastructure development are critical to the continent's long-term growth. Africa needs to modernize its transportation systems, build reliable energy grids, and develop innovative solutions for urbanization. The diaspora boasts a wealth of engineers, architects, and technologists who have worked on large-scale projects in developed countries and can bring that expertise to Africa, whether designing sustainable cities, developing clean energy projects, or creating tech hubs. These professionals can help lay the foundation for a more prosperous and resilient future. The entrepreneurial spirit that many Africans have cultivated abroad is another essential asset for the continent. Entrepreneurs from the diaspora have established successful businesses, contributing to job creation and economic growth in their host countries. This spirit of innovation, coupled with the knowledge of global markets, can be harnessed to build businesses that cater to the needs of the African continent. Small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, are the backbone of many economies, and the diaspora can play a central role in fostering an entrepreneurial ecosystem in Africa by starting businesses that address local challenges. From agriculture to fintech, the diaspora can help create thriving economies and reduce unemployment. But the role of the diaspora extends beyond just professional expertise. Many members of the African diaspora hold a deep emotional connection to the continent and are deeply invested in its future. Whether through charitable donations, educational initiatives, or cultural exchanges, the diaspora is already contributing to Africa's development in significant ways. However, to truly make a lasting impact, the diaspora must engage more directly with Africa, investing time, resources, and expertise in building sustainable institutions that can outlast individual efforts. This call to the diaspora is not merely an invitation, it is a responsibility. The African continent has been shaped by historical challenges, colonialism, exploitation, and political instability, but it also has the potential to chart its own path forward. The diaspora has an opportunity to play a central role in this journey. By returning home, by investing in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and technology, they can help create a future where Africa is not just a continent of potential, but one of realized prosperity. The African diaspora carries not only the skills and knowledge needed for development, but also the stories, values, and cultures that are integral to Africa's identity. It is time to reconnect with the continent, to bring those experiences back home, and to invest in the future of the land that gave birth to us all. Whether through partnerships, direct investments, or community involvement, the diaspora is crucial to Africa's quest for progress, self-sufficiency, and sustainable development. The call is clear. Africa needs you, now more than ever. Africa's true strength lies in its unity, and this unity has the power to unlock a future of prosperity, progress, and sustainability. For too long, the continent has been divided, not only by borders, but by differences in language, culture, and political ideologies. These divisions have often been exploited, hindering Africa's ability to rise to its full potential. However, it is through unity and collaboration that Africa can transform its challenges into opportunities and chart a new path forward. It is not enough for individual nations to work in isolation. The time has come for Africa to unite as a continent, pooling resources, sharing knowledge, and combining talents in pursuit of common goals. Historically, Africa has faced many external and internal challenges, ranging from colonialism to post-independence struggles for stability, from poverty to conflicts that have ravaged regions. Yet even amid these challenges, Africa has shown incredible resilience and potential. If this resilience could be harnessed in a unified way, Africa could leap into a new era of development, strength, and influence on the global stage. The key to this transformation is recognizing that the continent's problems are not confined to individual countries. Whether it's the challenges of education, healthcare, or infrastructure, these issues transcend national borders and demand a collective response. One of the greatest advantages of unity is the ability to share resources and leverage the strengths of each nation. Africa is a continent rich in natural resources, yet these resources have often been exploited without consideration for the continent's long-term well-being. By coming together as one, African nations can work on sustainable resource management that benefits the entire continent rather than just a few. Collaboration can lead to the creation of shared infrastructure, from energy grids to transportation networks, which can facilitate trade, communication, and economic growth across borders. When countries work together to build these shared systems, they reduce the dependency on foreign entities and create self-sustaining industries that benefit everyone. Moreover, the diversity of skills and expertise across Africa is one of its greatest untapped assets. Across the continent, there are entrepreneurs, scientists, educators, and engineers whose knowledge and skills can benefit not just their own countries, but the continent as a whole. By promoting collaboration and sharing expertise, African nations can build stronger industries and institutions. The tech boom in Kenya, for example, could be expanded into neighboring countries, bringing innovation and creating opportunities for youth employment. Similarly, by sharing best practices in agriculture, African nations can increase food security across the continent, reducing dependency on imports and boosting local economies. Collaborative efforts can lead to the establishment of Pan-African research hubs, where intellectual capital is pooled to find solutions to local and regional problems, from climate change to public health crises. Unity also opens the door for Africa to speak with one voice on the global stage. When African nations come together, they have the power to demand greater representation in international organizations, secure better trade deals, and negotiate for policies that prioritize the continent's development. As one unified bloc, Africa can advocate for its interests with the strength and respect it deserves. The African Union has already made strides toward this kind of political unity, but true collaboration requires not only political will, but a deeper cultural shift towards cooperation. It requires African nations to see beyond their borders and recognize that their destinies are intertwined, that the challenges faced by one country are often shared by many others. The benefits of unity go beyond economics and politics. They touch the very heart of Africa's identity. The continent is home to thousands of languages, cultures, and traditions. But instead of seeing this diversity as a source of division, it should be embraced as a powerful force for collaboration. Just as Africa's cultural richness can be a source of pride, so too can its diversity be a foundation for creativity and innovation. By working together across cultural lines, Africans can build more inclusive societies where every voice is heard and valued. Ultimately, unity and collaboration are the pathways to Africa's transformation. It is not a question of if, but when the continent will come together in solidarity to unlock its full potential. The challenges are immense, but the opportunities are even greater. By working together, sharing resources, and combining our talents, Africans can overcome the barriers that have held the continent back for too long. The time has come for Africa to step forward, united in purpose and strength, and claim its place as a global leader. Through unity, Africa will not only solve its own problems, but will inspire the world with its ability to create a future defined by cooperation, progress, and shared success. Africa's progress is not just vital to the continent itself, it has profound implications for the entire world. As the second largest continent, both in size and population, Africa's future will play a central role in shaping global dynamics across various sectors, from climate change and technological advancement to economic stability and international relations. The continent's growth and development are inextricably linked to the health and prosperity of the global community, making Africa's rise one of the most crucial issues of the 21st century. One of the most pressing global issues that directly connects to Africa's progress is climate change. Africa is home to some of the world's most vulnerable ecosystems and communities, and its future is disproportionately threatened by environmental challenges. From desertification in the Sahel to flooding in coastal cities, Africa's landscapes are feeling the harsh impacts of global warming. Yet Africa is also a place of incredible natural resilience and potential for solutions. If Africa is supported in its climate adaptation strategies, it could become a key player in the global fight against climate change. The continent is rich in renewable energy resources, solar, wind, and hydroelectric power, that, if fully developed, could not only reduce Africa's own carbon footprint, but could also help meet the growing global demand for sustainable energy. The transition to a green economy in Africa could set a model for other regions, showing how sustainable development can be achieved while fostering economic growth. Beyond environmental concerns, Africa's technological advancement will significantly influence global innovation and competitiveness. Africa is already making remarkable strides in the fields of mobile technology, fintech, and agricultural innovation. Countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa are emerging as tech hubs, with innovations like mobile banking and digital payment systems reshaping how business is done across the continent. These advancements are not only helping to solve local problems, but are also becoming global solutions. The mobile money revolution in Africa, for example, has transformed how people access banking and financial services, with platforms like M-Pesa serving as a blueprint for similar initiatives in other developing regions. As Africa continues to develop its tech ecosystem, it will play an increasingly important role in the global digital economy. Africa's young, tech-savvy population is poised to drive the next wave of innovation, particularly in areas like artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and clean energy technologies. The world's largest tech companies are already looking to Africa for new ideas, investment opportunities, and talent, making the continent a key player in the future of global technology. Africa's economic stability is also crucial to global prosperity. The continent is rich in natural resources, yet it has long been held back by political instability, poor infrastructure, and a lack of access to global markets. However, the economic landscape in Africa is changing rapidly. The African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, has the potential to create a single market for goods and services, boosting intra-Africa trade and making the continent more competitive in the global economy. If African countries can improve their infrastructure, education systems, and governance structures, they will be able to create a more robust and diverse economy that is less reliant on external markets. A stable and growing African economy can provide a significant boost to global trade, as the continent becomes a major hub for manufacturing, technology, and services. As Africa becomes more integrated into the global economy, it will have greater influence on global trade policies and economic strategies, benefiting not only African countries, but the world at large. Africa's role in global economic stability is also tied to its youth population, which represents a massive opportunity for the future. With over 60% of Africa's population under the age of 25, the continent is poised to become the world's largest workforce in the coming decades. This demographic dividend could fuel global economic growth if Africa invests in its youth through education, skills training, and job creation. A well-educated and employed African workforce will contribute to global innovation and productivity, playing a key role in tackling challenges like poverty, inequality, and social unrest. Finally, Africa's geopolitical influence is growing. As the continent's economic and political power expands, so too will its role in global governance. Africa's vote in international organizations like the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, and the World Bank will become more significant as the continent's development progresses. Furthermore, Africa's growing role in peacekeeping and conflict resolution will be crucial in shaping global security dynamics. With many African countries participating in peacekeeping missions and diplomatic efforts, the continent will have a more prominent voice in global discussions about conflict resolution, international law, and human rights. In conclusion, Africa's growth and development are not isolated issues. They are integral to the future of the entire world. Whether it's in addressing climate change, advancing technology, ensuring economic stability, or shaping global governance, Africa's progress will be a key driver of global transformation. The world cannot afford to overlook Africa's potential. By supporting Africa's growth, the international community will be investing in a more sustainable, prosperous, and interconnected future for all. Africa has given us so much: our culture, our heritage, our roots. It has shaped our identities, instilled values that have guided us, and provided us with the strength to overcome life's challenges. From the stories of our ancestors to the vibrant traditions that have been passed down through generations, Africa is not just a place. It is the heart that beats in every one of us. The rich history, the resilience, and the spirit of community that defines the continent have become the foundation upon which we build our lives. Yet, as much as Africa has shaped us, it is now time for us to return, not just physically, but with a sense of responsibility, purpose, and commitment to giving back. The time has come for us to contribute to Africa's future, ensuring its prosperity, growth, and stability for generations to come. Coming back to Africa is not simply about revisiting the place of our birth or reconnecting with our roots. It's about recognizing that we have a responsibility to contribute to the well-being of the continent and its people. As the sons and daughters of Africa, we carry with us the knowledge, experiences, and skills we have gained throughout our lives, whether in education, business, technology, healthcare, or other fields. These are not just personal achievements. They are resources that can be used to help build a brighter future for Africa. Africa has given us so much, and now it is our turn to offer what we have learned, what we have achieved, and what we can create together. One of the most powerful ways we can give back to Africa is by investing in its human capital. Africa is home to some of the youngest populations in the world, with a median age of just 19 years. This youthful energy is a tremendous asset, yet it is also a challenge as many young Africans face limited access to quality education, job opportunities, and skills training. By returning to Africa, we can play a key role in changing this narrative, whether through establishing schools